Well, good day. Here we are. And it is a good day because we are talking about putting ChatGPT and AI to work. Okay. Isn't this fantastic that we've got technologies that we can use to go to work for us? Huh? We're going to work so much for others. And now it's time to put this great technology to go to work for us. And we're so happy that Cristina DiGiacomo, esteemed faculty member of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, is here. So we're welcoming everyone coming in. I'm so delighted. My name is Kathleen Caldwell. I'm the founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. So delighted to be hosting Cristina DiGiacomo and welcoming each of you to our program today. I'm an author, speaker, coach, consultant, trusted advisor, and most importantly, ballroom dancing partner to my beloved husband, Michael Caldwell. So love to do all that. And so why we got this going, just want to set this up quickly, is, as coaches and consultants, men, women, whatever you are in the middle, whatever your gender is, doesn't matter to us. We are all thought leaders. And so why Cristina and I talked about this is commonly we're all dealing with, hey, it's time to market is slow. We're doing a lot of different things. Even if we have a team, we've got a VA team, an assistant, people on our team, getting things to market is slow. We're spending a lot of time on the details. I don't know about you, but sometimes I've been overthinking LinkedIn posts that really should have taken just a few minutes that took an hour. Hey, we can't run a business doing it that way. Are you also, can you relate to maybe feeling a little bored or frustrated or kind of, feeling like you want to be up to date and current? Yes. And also, we're always looking for a competitive and creative edge. And we know that we get that in the C-Suite network. But, this was really the driving force to do our program today. And so how it all started is we did a tremendous program just a couple of weeks ago because it was Groundhog Day. And, we celebrate a lot in our council. We were doing a program about how to break the cycle of Groundhog Day. Like every day is the same. We're doing the same things over and over again, thinking there's going to be a different result. So Cristina started this party a couple of weeks ago. We had a great program. You can watch the replay on our YouTube channel. And with that, I would like to introduce and bring to our platform and our podium, Cristina DiGiacomo, founder of the Philosopher's Council and the Philo Club, and author of Wise Up at Work. Highly recommend that you get Christina's book. And just a tremendous person who blends in. Cristina, you blend in tech with high touch. How's that? And your counsel and the work you're doing is so important. So with that, I'd like to pause the slides and invite you to come up to our stage and highlight you, because today is all about our action workshop, right? Taking action on ChatGPT AI to make our lives better, have more fun, and really have a more competitive edge, right? Yeah. So I'm going to turn the podium over to you, Cristina. Thank you. Take yourself off mute. Let's give Cristina a round of applause here. We do this because it's a little bit of exercise, right? When we're on all these Zoom calls. Yes, woohoo! That's right.
Yes, we all could use a little movement as laptop warriors. Okay. So there are still, oh, hey, Kim, all right, there you are. So there are still a couple people joining, but that's okay. I'm just going to introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cristina DiGiacomo, and I'm a philosopher who teaches business leaders, CEOs, and managers and their teams about how to use philosophy in order to empower their teams to think critically, to make important decisions, to be more creative, to be more innovative. And so I use sort of these timeless concepts and ideas on how to think about how you're thinking in a way that is educational for people in a business context. So that's essentially what it is that I do. But as part of my work, I'm always entering into different spaces and different ways that enable people to be able to expand their world, their perspective, their way of thinking. And a lot of times that intersects with technology. And so what I'm going to be going through with you today is actually a workshop. So I had a talk about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence a couple of weeks ago, which is sort of a primer for what we're going to do today. But essentially, just to quickly summarize and set the table, ChatGPT is this AI chatbot. So it's sort of a software program that will have a conversation with you dependent on what you ask it. And so it's gotten a lot of buzz, a lot of news lately, and there's a number of ways that you can use it. But one of the things that I've realized that as someone who does consultation work, does coaching work, does a lot of thought leadership, and also is a solopreneur who is a perfectionist. On top of that, a lot of times I'll have these really great inspired ideas, and then I go to sit at my keyboard and it's like, okay. And so I have a really hard time getting going until I discovered ChatGPT. And so what it is it enables you to just get started. It helps you deal with that procrastination, that blank screen, that's staring, the white void, I call it, staring back at you. And you can ask it all kinds of things. You could do all kinds of things with it. Things that you may not know how to do, like write an email sequence, write a sales letter, write social posts, help you develop your positioning, your mission statement, your vision statement. So any form of content, marketing, messaging, it can really help you develop that. I think my screen is a little blurry, so I'm going to do this. Okay, awesome. So yeah, if you guys ever get a blurry camera, here's another tip, bonus tip, didn't expect this, but if you ever get a blurry camera, just put your hand right up in the front of the camera and it should clear right up. Okay, so it's really a tool for you to be able to get to market faster with your ideas. So the world is moving really fast. There's a lot of things that are happening. The media is reporting on everything, like every heartbeat, there's something new that's going on. So in your respective category, whether it's healthcare, whether it's, style and fashion, I'd love to hear more from people. If you could put in the chat what it is that you do or the categories that you're in, that would be helpful. A lot of times you have to, the really great thought leaders can react and opine on things that are very current and relevant and visible in people's minds, especially their target audience. So if you're having a hard time getting your ideas to market, then you're going to struggle having those up-to-date, more informed, relevant conversations with your potential clients, your customers, your team, your employees, your board of directors, your investors, and so on. So what we're going to do today is actually, I'm going to just share my screens for 1 second so that you can get a sense. Oops. Wrong slide. Uh-oh. There we go. No big deal. Okay. So what we're going to do today, this is an action workshop. So what is really important here is that you walk away with something, that you can act on immediately. And so we're going to use ChatGPT. And if you don't have an account or you don't have it open on your computer, don't worry, I do, and maybe Kathleen does or someone else. And if you can also put in the chat, if you do have ChatGPT open on your computer, please put it in the chat. We may need your help. Okay. So we're going to use ChatGPT to create a social post for you that you can post right after this workshop. Okay, so we're going to get something going for you right away. I'm going to talk through and give you resources on how to set yourself up as an expert and thought leader and identify trends and opportunities. And you're also going to get an entire workbook and resource list of everything that you could possibly need, not only just from ChatGPT, but other quote unquote AI tools that can do anything from video editing for you, website building for you, voice recording for you, and so on. I'll show all of that to you, and also the people to follow who are really leveraging ChatGPT out in the marketplace as content creators. And if you follow these people, you will always get up-to-date tips on how to leverage AI writing tools. So there's a list of those folks as well. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. I just need to look at the chat for like 2 seconds. Okay, here we go. Image styling, personal branding. Yes, thank you, Sheila, keynote speaker. Okay, Mark, thank you so much, because you and I have not met yet, and so I wasn't sure what you did. Kim, astrology, business, wonderful. Thank you, Laura, course creation, online, wonderful. Okay, thank you, Pete and Kathleen. Okay, so we got Trevor, who's got ChatGPT open. Sheila. Okay, Laura, you've got it open. Awesome. Okay, so most people have it open. So really, is it Mark? You got it. All right. So I think maybe Kim, we can certainly help you with the next I think it's Kim. Oh, I'm getting it now. Okay, good. Don't worry. If you don't have it, it's all right. We got you covered here in the Women's Leadership Coaching and Consulting Council. Okay, so are we ready? Now, the thing about ChatGPT, it's really important, and it's going to be, how do I say, really the most important thing that you need to focus on, right? Just with any strategy, just with any approach, the more you put into that approach, the more you get out. So what you put in is what you get out. So if you want really good, robust, healthy, clear responses, you need to have good prompts. So prompt for ChatGPT is the most important thing. And overall, it needs to be super specific, super clear, and with a direct sort of use case. Like, why do you need this to be generated? Like, what is it being generated for? So I have a few examples here, but what I also did is created 2 formulas for you that you're going to use today to create social posts relative to your business and relative to what you do. So we'll get to that in a second. But just as a few examples of prompts for ChatGPT, write an email sequence, which would be the use case, in a corporate tone, right? So maybe professional corporate tone, to follow up and sell, which is specific, to the CEO of a technology company, again, specific, my leadership consulting services. Or, if you could even get even more specific about who you are, the better. So here's another example. You can even write it in sort of the first person, starting with who you are. I'm a leadership consultant. What are the top 10 issues, right? So specific, top 10 specific issues, right? That CEOs, target audience, are facing within the technology industry. So category, right? Not just within business, it's technology, right? Here's another example. Write a friendly, that's, friendly, speaks to tone, sales letter, use case for technology business leaders, category, role, for services in leadership consulting or your particular niche. So you're starting to see that the more specific your ask or your inquiry of ChatGPT, the more specific an output you're going to get. So I'm going to post these 2 prompts in the chat, and then I'm gonna stop the. Pete Winters raised his hand. Pete, go for it.
I was just asking Kathleen, but I figured I should just ask you right off the bat. In the description, can you put in the URL of a company so that GPT can look up that URL and instantly understand everything about that company to then incorporate that into the answer that GPT considers?
So guess what we're going to do? We're going to do that today.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
All right, Pete. You're our guinea pig. All right. My guess, though, is it has to probably be a URL that may have to have a certain level of traffic. I'm sure it can pull from, like, so for example, I looked up myself. So the first thing is I looked up my name and it was like, I'm so sorry, I don't know this person. Can you provide more context? So I said, Cristina DiGiacomo is a philosopher. And it was like, okay, it was like, okay, this is getting closer. This is getting better. Can you please provide more context? And then I wrote, okay, Cristina DiGiacomo is the founder of the Philosophers Council. And then it was like, okay, great, this is who she is. And so, if you have a large body of work or a site that has traffic, or you have a lot of articles out there, it'll crawl for the internet for that. But I'd love to see what happens when you put a URL in. Okay, anyway. So these are 2 formulas you can use today, and I'm going to put them in the chat so you can actually copy and paste them and put them into ChatGPT and make some changes to these areas. So for example, the first one is for a social platform. So whatever social platform you're, is, whether it's Instagram, I'm LinkedIn, I'm or Twitter or TikTok, maybe, whatever your social platform of choice, you put that in here. So for a social platform post, write in whatever your brand tone is. Are you corporate? Are you friendly? Are you youthful? Are you snarky? Are you, sophisticated? Whatever your brand tone is, you would put that there. The top 3 reasons about why it benefits, and then you insert your target audience to hire, and then you insert your specialty and include the top 5 hashtags popular with your target audience. The second formula, and you could use 1 or 2, both, whatever, is for your social platform of choice post, write in your brand tone, the top 3 trends in your target audience's category. Okay, their category, and why it's important for your particular target audience. So and I'll show you an example in a minute. For your target audience to care about hiring your specialty and how your specialty is a solution for each of these 3 trends. Okay, so let me just take a moment and put this in the chat for you. And I'm going to show you, because I never teach anything I don't do myself. I'm going to show you that I use those exact same formulas for my work. So I'm going to show you exactly what ChatGPT came up with for those formulas. Okay. So I can't, okay, So Formula 1, for a LinkedIn post, write in a friendly tone the top 3 reasons about why it benefits technology CEOs to hire a philosopher, and include the top 5 hashtags popular with technology CEOs. And this is what it came up with. Now, I'm not going to read this for you, but you can kind of, you know, as a philosopher, I've been asked what value I can bring to the tech industry. And it goes ahead and lists all the reasons why a philosopher would be beneficial in the technology category for technology CEOs. And then it gave me some hashtags. Now, I would totally zhuzh this up and edit this. You know, you want to bring your own voice to this. But now I've got a place to start. The second formula for a LinkedIn post, write in a friendly tone, because my brand tone is friendly. Write in a friendly tone the top 3 trends in digital currency, because I do work also in the digital currency and crypto space, in digital currency, and why it's important for technology CEOs to care about hiring a philosopher, and how philosophy is a solution for each of those trends. And guess what? First of all, it said, hey there, LinkedIn fam. So I would never say LinkedIn fam. I would say, hey there, party people. Like, that's just me. So I would just, you know, make that change. Anyway, but this is brilliant. So it gave the top 3 trends in digital currency, which is decentralization, privacy and security, and interoperability. And not only talked a little bit about that trend, but then talked about how a philosopher can specifically address each one of these trends, and how a philosopher can be a solution for a technology CEO to work through these trends. So just to give you a sense of how ChatGPT treated how I use those prompts. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. Okay. Hey, Kathleen, can I remove the spotlight? All right. I just want to be able to see everybody.
Yeah, and let's get some questions going here, and let's get some.
Is that okay?
Yeah, is that good? Yeah. And
okay,
Cristina, I have a question, and I know you can answer this. I have 2 questions, and you've already kind of answered the first one. Really important to make these responses from ChatGPT and Jasper and OpenAI and all these other new technologies, make them our own, so we don't cut and paste and just because I've also heard that Bing and Google are now flagging responses that look and sound and have the algorithms for AI. What comments do you have about that?
Yes, thank you, Kathleen, because
Yes.
it's probably very scary to get flagged by Google and Microsoft, and nobody wants to be called out. And if it's done publicly, it doesn't make you look very good. It's not very good for your reputation, right? So here are some ways to try and minimize that happen. First, literally add yourself into the content. A personal anecdote, a story, something about your experiences that relate to the content or relate to the post. Also, very similar to when we were in school and we were writing papers and we were doing research in encyclopedias, because I think most of us existed before Google existed, and we had to actually look at Encyclopedia Britannicas for stuff. You do your research, but then you go ahead and you analyze that research, or you rewrite that piece so that it feels a little bit more like you actually understood the concept, but in your own words. So that's another way to use it. Oh, Kim just said crazy amazing. I love that. Yeah, Kim, I love that smile. Look at that. So, and the other thing too is ChatGPT only goes up to 2021. So we all know that language also changes to reflect the times, especially if you are in a category like technology or even management. So there's always new buzzwords, new jargon, new language. And so sometimes the language that comes back to you from ChatGPT may sound a little dated. It may, you may want to zhuzh it up with maybe some more current language, or maybe, if you've got words of your own that you've used, like definitely infuse it within that content. Those are just, and then also, again, this is why being specific with the prompt is so important. Like niche your niche down to the nichiest niche you can possibly niche, okay? Because the more specific and clear your prompt is, the more specific, personalized, and more individualized the answer is going to be that comes back to you. So again, this is where having some really great keywords for your target audience, great keywords for your target audience's category, really great keywords for your niche or the pillars of your framework even. Like, again, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And that also would be another suggestion that I would make to avoid those things, Kathleen.
Yes, and Christina, I use Jasper AI and ChatGPT. I kind of toggle between the two. Are you using other technologies kind of simultaneously? Because I know you're going to also talk about how to integrate this into our workflow.
Yes, so I've used Jasper before, and I actually have in that resource list that's we're going to send that out to everyone. I do include Jasper. Jasper is really great for marketing. So what's interesting about Jasper is it's very modularized. So it will already set up buckets for which that's focused on emails, that's focused on social, that's focused on maybe articles and blogs. And the thing that I also love about Jasper, which ChatGPT can do, but what is great about Jasper is it will rewrite content that you already have. But the thing about Jasper is it has more prompts, more like in this kind of a tone, and it'll give you these really great options. Like it gives you more opportunities to play with the prompts and the inputs, as opposed to you having to come up with what you think might be right. So that's another tool that I really like, that's more marketing focused. Another tool, it's also included on your resource list, is called ChatSonic. Now, the builders of ChatSonic recognize some of the things that ChatGPT can't do, specifically the fact that ChatGPT only goes up to 2021 in the data that it pulls. ChatSonic is current, like to the second, to the minute. So you never have to, you still always need to check if there's statistics or quotes in the things that you get back. But ChatSonic has a few more features to it that ChatGPT doesn't have. But I use AI image generators. I use, there's a really great tool that is in your list called Durable, which is literally an quote unquote, because Trevor's going to determine whether it's a real AI or not. Love you, Trevor. Quote unquote AI website builder. So you plug in, whatever your company is, maybe your location, and you will watch it literally just build the website in a parallax view right in front of your eyes. And then you can, Kim's losing her mind. And I can demo that for you, actually, because I just tried it with Philosopher's Council. And then you can go and you can edit the color palette, the font, you know, but at least you've got to start with, as opposed, and it's actually much better than trying to pick a template from Squarespace or Wix, because you know, that the other thing about these tools is you get analysis paralysis, right? So you're overwhelmed by so many options and so many things to choose from that you end up doing nothing. And so so that's another thing with this website builder that I want to play with it more, but it's actually, that's why I like it, because you could also use it for landing pages. Boom, you've got a class, you've got, who's the course creator? Was that you, Laura? Okay, Laura is going to do a course creation, or she's going to do a workshop on about her course creation business, and she needs a landing page. Boom, go to Durable, like plug in a couple things, bam, it just generates a nice and clean interface, and then you can go ahead and plug in the details, slap a URL on it, and you're good. So what would take you maybe, I don't know, or your team like a week to generate in terms of a landing page straight from HTML or even from Squarespace or Wix, takes you 2 seconds, less than a day to get that up and running. So anyway, did that answer your question? Whose question was that? Was that your question, Kathleen?
Not sure. Let's get some voices in here. Cristina, you have been working from the beginning of our time together. Yeah. What questions do you have? Yeah, Pete, please jump in. Here's our power user.
Just
Pete
a
Winters.
quick one, Christina, is Jasper a freemium model, or is it only start out a paid model?
I think it's you get a free trial, at least
Okay.
I mean, and this is when, I mean, I started using Jasper about a year ago.
Right.
So, you know, but I think you get a free trial, and then and then they have a subscription, which is actually quite reasonable. I think it's like $30 a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I will jump in too. I use Jasper all the time because I think, you know, you get to, is the more you get to use these tools, and I'm sure you all agree, you see the strengths and weaknesses of all of them. And I can't wait to find and start working with the new ones, Cristina, that you're bringing to us. But what I like to do is I like to copy and paste things between OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Jasper, and just kind of get an idea about, like Cristina was saying, is Jasper's a more marketing approach, and copy and paste it and see what kind of different responses I get. I love Jasper because it also brings in Grammarly. It also brings in a plagiarism check, so you can have it go out to the internet and check to make sure that what's been written is not already out there. And, you know, it's, I also compare it to, I have the Boss version, which is $59 a month. And I stop and think, what would I be paying for someone to help me write copy for things? You know, it's like literally 15 minutes for a person, you know, $59 a month. It's a really great investment. And they're so confident in their technology that they just had a price increase, darn it. But anyway, well worth it. I'm sure you'd agree, Cristina, that you were an early user. I was too. Really hot. Yeah.
Are there any other questions? I love what people have been generating, and thank you for putting it in the chat.
Kathleen, I'm only asking because no one else is asking questions, so I've got another one. Cristina, can you give some advice on, in fact, Laura and I were just talking about this an hour ago about going down the rabbit hole. Can you give some advice about teaching the AI when they've given you a response, but you want to add more information, or you want to change the response or have it do it differently? When you go to get that regeneration, how do you style, or what rules do you follow? What do you have to do to teach it or mold it to reframe that answer, as opposed to just punching out another answer?
Yeah, so again, this really depends on your original prompt. So I'm going to try to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I was working with ChatGPT to help me identify class ideas with specific philosophers, teaching. Each class is a module around a philosophy in a particular workplace topic, right? So ChatGPT returned 5 class ideas with specific philosopher names that could address that particular workplace topic. What I noticed was that most of the philosophers were white and male, which is, fine, because philosophy in and of itself is a field that is predominantly white men. So I noticed that and realized, okay, I want responses around female philosophers and people of color. And so I prompted ChatGPT and I said, can you add to the above class ideas using only philosophers that are Black and or women? And it literally generated an entire new curriculum only using ideas and concepts from Black philosophers and people of color and women. So you absolutely can work with ChatGPT in filling in those gaps, but you have to identify what the gaps are in the context of what it is that you're trying to do. Prompts that are good are add, revise in a different tone, maybe change the tone of it, give it an input like, hey, so for example, you wanted to get a summary about aerospace engineering, so it gives you a response. Then you're like, okay, but I'm really interested in aerospace engineering from the perspective of the EU. And then you put that in, and so it regenerates a response, still taking into consideration what you had before. So again, really regenerating should be getting it to be more specific.
I have a question, and thank you so much, Kathleen and Christina, for putting this on. I learned so much the last session and implemented right away. And I play with it every day. So I'm learning just like a sponge. But my question, and I love that the niching down, but so regarding SEO and keyword research, is that something that you can prompt Jasper or ChatGPT, like, so if you're writing a blog or an article, you're gonna put it on LinkedIn or your website, and Peter knows like that's so important, right? Those keywords and the SEO. Can you prompt these AIs to tell you, please look up or do some SEO research and figure out what those words are, or using those words in your response, or how would you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, the SEO people are losing their minds right now because they're worried about being out of a job. So that's exactly one of the things that people are using these AI tools for, is to identify trending keywords, trending questions, buzzwords, hashtags. And so my recommendation, though, is to use not ChatGPT necessarily, but ChatSonic or Jasper, because their data set and language set might be a little bit more up to date. And so what you would do, Sheila, is just very simple, start with what are the top 5 SEO keywords around styling.
Okay.
You can also ask it, what do you like? So you work with who's your target audience?
It's mostly entrepreneurs.
I'm sorry, what?
It's mostly entrepreneurs.
So women entrepreneurs, right? I would be curious as to what these tools would have to say is, what do female entrepreneurs care about when it comes to the way they look? Or what do female entrepreneurs love to wear? And what's going to happen, and then you can even add to that, you know, using the latest trending keywords. And what's going to happen is the language or the items that your target audience is saying or speaking about should come back to you. Now, remember, we are all marketers by nature, right? Because that's part of being a solopreneur. What do we always hear? Always hear, speak in the language of your target audience. Speak to them, be in their shoes, look at the world through their eyes. These are the tools you can use in order to do that. So you're not navel gazing, you're not speaking from your own expertise necessarily, you're really penetrating the mindset of your target audience and using language that they use.
Thank you.
Sure.
So Christina, quick question too, to follow up is, how do you give ChatGPT, Jasper, like a role to play? Something like, imagine you are something or other, imagine, and then write to that particular audience. To follow up on your point here a moment ago. And I know you've got a bunch of slides that you want to jump in.
Yeah,
as
no,
well
that's
more.
okay. So just so I'm understanding, like, yeah, so when you're doing audience research, you know, this is what these tools are really good for. And so you can prompt these tools to say, I'm your target audience. What do I care about? Or I'm your target audience that does XYZ. Again, try to be as specific as possible. What's a day in my life like? And see what happens. Because that day in the life immediately becomes a blog post that says, hey, target audience, I know what your days are like. They're like this. Are they like this? And that becomes the beginning of your hook of a landing page or of your article.
Hot, or a quiz.
Or quiz. Yeah.
Or invitation, or
your lead magnet.
Lead
or
magnet. Right, exactly. Yeah.
For social. Now, I know that I believe Kim had a question. No, wait, oh, here you are, Kim. Can we use ChatGPT for a marketing storyboard based on 2 or 3 factors for 3 weeks? Why not? I've written entire marketing plans.
Okay.
I've written entire
marketing. I didn't even know ChatGPT was a thing. So this is all new to me. So
it's all good. I've written entire marketing plans. I've written entire retreat itineraries.
Okay.
There are people who, you know, you can write, I've written scripts for webinars. Why not? I mean, I don't know how it would treat the word storyboard because I'm not familiar with that. So I would have a plan B and plan C set of words instead of storyboard. Excuse me. And then I want to also get back to Pete Winner's question about what happens when you put a URL into ChatGPT. So why don't we give it a shot? All right. So I'm going to share a screen. Pete, what's the URL? What do you want to do?
Okay, so I'll explain. There is a lottery company.
Okay.
They are called Play Lotto Global. And they have a foundation. The foundation is called Cinco Foundation, CINCO Foundation.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Play Lotto Global would go to influencers around the world to build affiliate relationships with those influencers. So let's say they wanted to reach out to Shakira and have Shakira reach out to her millions of followers, billions of followers around the world. And they're going to develop an affiliate program when Shakira gets her followers to sign up to play this lottery game, that Shakira's foundation can receive monies, can receive donations. So cincofoundation.org, CINCO foundation.org
Okay.
is this organization that's linked to Play Lotto Global. I think I'm going to be too complex that I don't quite have the question yet, Christina. So
Okay.
this might not be a great example because I'm still working out the question in my head. But cincofoundation.org is the organization. And how, okay, here's the question. How would cincofoundation.org attract the attention of influencers?
What kind of influencers? Any?
Celebrities and influencers, social media influencers around the world, to establish a affiliate revenue share program.
Wait. A what?
An affiliate revenue share program for the parent company Play Lotto Global. I wasn't prepared for this, Kathleen, so I don't even have the question in my head, which is the $64,000 question is what is the question? So I'm winging it.
Is it playlotto.com?
Play Lotto Global.
.com?
Correct. I would think of attract the social media influencers, establish an affiliate revenue program for the acquisition of lottery game players around the world.
Am I spelling acquisition wrong? Okay. For the acquisition of
lottery gamers around the world. And I think that's my question. I might be too nebulous with my question. But
I don't know. Let's
for
wing it. Let's see what happens.
Christina, I feel like we should have a drum roll or some sort of
really
music to go along with this, like slot machines or something. See, now that's
Let me run down to a casino and open up my phone.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Wow.
Yeah, this is actually the answer. Which could have taken me hours to write this.
And Pete, I think what you're also demonstrating here is, honing in onto what's the question. Like there's a Rev 1 of the question, and then there's a Rev 2, and it's like hot, really great.
Yep.
So Pete, I'm going to just put this in the chat. I'm just going to send you a direct chat message with this.
Great.
And maybe this is just a good blueprint for you.
Completely a starter. 100% a starter. Yep.
Okay.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Mark, how you doing there?
I'm doing good. Just soaking it in.
Soaking it in. Is anything we can answer for you?
I actually had a little tip I thought I would share, and you guys may be using it, but we can all share and pick up on little things. If you're using a Windows machine, you could have just hit the Windows plus H, and as he was saying that, it would have typed it for you. Basically, it's dictation. But dictation, we use it on our phone all the time, but on your Windows machine, it will work in any window. So whether you're searching, typing a letter, or doing whatever, and so the shortcut is actually the Windows plus the H key. So I actually keep a little sticky note on my keyboard that way, because whenever I'm starting to type something that's going to be a little long and drawn out, I just Windows H, say it. Because just like he was saying it, your system would have heard what he's saying, and it would have just typed it.
So Mark,
it's quite accurate, actually.
Mark, I was going to ask you for the mnemonic device for Windows H, but I thought of it. Because I'm with Kathleen and we're always sassy together. It's like, hello. So Windows H, hello. Thank you. That's a great tip.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Mark. I'm going to definitely use that. I appreciate it. Okay.
Mark Holland, bring in the value here,
Beautiful.
friend.
All
Loving
right.
it.
Hey, we get more when we give more, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That is so it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So Kathleen, I do want to take a few minutes. If there aren't any other questions, I want to go through the workbook or like
Yes.
the resources slides for everybody so that they know what they're getting and so on, if that's okay. Yeah, we good?
Friends, there's more. There's
Yeah.
more. All right, let's pause for a second. Are we getting so much value from this program, this workshop, this action workshop? Woo!
Yes.
Now the challenge is, how many of you are feeling that you want to spend the entire afternoon working on this? Yeah, it can be kind of challenging. And I know firsthand, it's very easy to stay up into the wee hours of the morning doing things like this.
Yes,
So there
it's
we
very,
go. Yeah.
there is a binge behavior with
That's
this
it.
that I've noticed with people who once they've kind of, it just becomes like everything. But I'll talk a little bit about, that's okay, but I'll talk a little bit about how that can actually be changed so that you can further leverage ChatGPT in ways that are more integrated and more a part of your workflow. So I'll talk about that behavior in a little bit. So, okay. Hey, Lydia, what's up?
There you go. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi
I'm
there.
so glad you're here and it's good to see you. Okay.
And Christine, I just want to pop in very quickly too. We wanted to have a little bit more expansiveness now on our time. So normally we finish at 57 after the hour, but we're going to have a little bit more space today until maybe like quarter after or so. Okay, so just want to give you a heads up. If you aren't able to stay, no worries. We are going to have a replay. You'll all get the replay of this along with the transcript and Christina's link to the workbook. So much value. And you can come again on the 1st of March, because we're going to have another program with new things. Just how we roll, right, Christina?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so back to you, my dear. Thank you.
Let's see. Where's sorry, I just want to like put this in full screen. There we go. Okay. So I gave you guys 2 social post formulas, and we've talked a little bit more about the specificity of prompts for ChatGPT. But in case you get stuck or in case you need more help, here are links to guides on how to actually properly prompt ChatGPT in order to get the most out of it. And there's even a ChatGPT prompt generator. So in other words, it's sort of an empty field and you plug in a couple of words or try to, enter in sort of what you want, and it will literally generate the prompt for you. So that might be another way to help you get started. The prompts are just the most important thing. So definitely check out these resources. I've been keenly following marketers and content creators who are really pushing the limits of ChatGPT and these kinds of tools, and constantly finding new ways to use it. And bless their hearts, they offer what they're discovering mostly for free. So this is a list of people. So with each person, there's a link. When you click on that link, it may take you to a Twitter post. Within that Twitter post, there's usually multiple ideas. Like for Harsh, there's 10 ways you can use ChatGPT. So don't just think of this, each person is one idea. Each person is 10 ideas. So I highly suggest you go to each one of these threads, and you'll just get, I mean, it's just unbelievable, the rich information. I've also included a crash course guide, which I got, and I want to take a minute. Let me see if I click on this. Yes, I want to allow this. Okay, so this is a business crash course for ChatGPT. How to make money, how to grow your business, how to use it for writing, how to, get started with it, write blog posts for SEOs. There you go, Sheila, SEO right there. ChatGPT for beginners, for blogging, for Facebook ads, for leads. All of these open up, and you click on it and it opens up a menu item, and it's all of this guy, feeds from Twitter users, from Twitter, but within each post are 10 ideas. So I'm giving this to you. If you have trouble accessing it, I can't get back to my presentation. I've included hide. There we go. Oh, okay. Wait, did you see that web view?
We have not. Did you click
Oh,
on
I'm
that
so
to go over
sorry.
to it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
okay.
have to stop the share. Sorry, and then go
Yeah.
back. My bad. So here's the guide. Can you see this?
Beautiful. Very,
Okay,
very
so
nice.
this link
Yes.
is included in your list of resources, and it is a crash course entire guide for how to use ChatGPT for Facebook ads, blogging, everything that cold emails, all these different uses, sales, marketing, and so on. So this is all yours. If you happen to have trouble accessing it, let me know, because it is personalized to me. But if you have any trouble, use this email address, see at the bottom, digi.cristina@gmail.com. If it asks you for an email address, use that. Okay. This one is a cheap ChatGPT mastery course, but it's paid. I think it's like 30 or 40 bucks if you want to check it out. Here's another. Matt Gray is really great. Follow these people on Twitter. Follow these people. They put out something every day. And then at Barcy is also really, really good. Okay. Let's see, there we go. Now here is the one thing to rule them all if you want to look at it. This is a one-stop shop. It's called Futurepedia. It is the largest AI tool directory. So it's a directory of every single AI or quote unquote AI, Trevor, that exists online. So if there's something you want to try and do, you go here. And it's basically you plug in like, I'm trying to do this, or is there anything for video editing? And it will come up with a list of tools that you can go ahead and experiment with. Oh, here we go. There we go. This is what I was like, something's missing. All right, here's another list of other AI tools. This is Durable. This is the website builder that I told you about. I'm just going to demo this since we have time. This is what it looks like. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, it doesn't ask for, my location, but hang on. Hang on. I'm going to find somebody who put something in the chat about what it is that they do. Hang on. Give me 1 second.
And Christina, we're also going to be finishing up here in a few minutes with final questions, takeaways, and then coming back on March 1st for a follow-up session. And it's just going to be a really quick, kind of concise program on the 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern to follow up. And what did you learn? What are kind of some advanced moves when we come back for a second round?
Sure.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, here we go. Okay, Sheila. What do you want to name your business, Sheila?
So I just make up a name? Is that what you want me to
Whatever
do?
you
Or
want.
let's say return on image.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's crazy. I need to do one for my husband, who's a CPA, doesn't have a website yet. Like,
Now, of course, you're going to want to, it'll give you options to edit it and so on, but it gets you started at least with, services, contact form about, there's a testimonial bucket here. So just to give you guys a sense of what's possible with something like Durable. And then just real quick. So here are some other tools. As I mentioned, ChatSonic is really great. But if you want to write tweets, if you need something that's more design oriented, writing, if you need music for your videos, that's Boomy. And then there's also a podcast and video editor. And then there's Jasper. So that's also there. So now, all of this may seem like, what? And you're going to want to binge all of this. You're wanting to do everything, or maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and it's like, you don't even know where to start. So if you need extra help, I'm here for it. Okay. So what I'm offering is, if you want to just either get started or get organized or figure out how to really integrate using these tools into your existing workflow, we can do it together. So I offer do it together sessions. Let's break it down to actionable pieces. Let's be thoughtful about it, but also get you going and give you some momentum. Or if you're like, this is amazing and I know this can be super helpful for me, but there's all these tools, all these resources, and I can't wrap my head around it, or I don't have the time to really sit down and get all this done, or teach staff how to do it. I can do this for you. So we would talk about what it is that you need, and then I would go, knowing, because I know the kinds of prompts and things to ask these tools, and I can do this for you, as well as then help you really truly operationalize this within your workflow, and I would be able to kind of slip into that workflow for you. For both of these, we would just have a discovery call. So my suggestion is just to contact me. My email address and my phone number is in this presentation. So if you want to take me up on a do it together session, or if you want to actually talk to me about me doing some of these things for you, especially some of the larger pieces like marketing strategy, marketing plans, things that might have a little bit of a broader scope, I can do this for you. And even, you could hire somebody to do these things, but we can work together, and I can at least give you an output right away, so you can talk about it on the Monday morning status meeting as opposed to a month from now. So anyway, that's my presentation and that's my workshop. Thank you all so much. That's fun. That was fun. I love that. Yeah.
Oh, Christina, loved it. Let's take ourselves off mute and give some love to Christina. Woohoo! Yes. So as we complete, Christine, I was also thinking, you do a lot of speaking for organizations and associations. So, just planting a little seed here. Who do we all know that would like to engage with Cristina to speak in front of their groups or their teams or their leadership groups to talk about the power of this AI technology and the competitive advantage it provides? You can see Cristina brings it. So there we go. So just curious, as we complete, what's your biggest takeaway? What's your biggest takeaway? And maybe even like, what's your next step? Because it's an action workshop, right, Cristina?
Correct.
Biggest takeaway and next step.
My biggest takeaway that this exists, so that's a big deal. And I've already Voxered my marketing director, and we're meeting after my client sessions today. So thank
Brilliant.
you so much. Yeah.
Brilliant, Kim. Thank you. Awesome.
Kathleen,
Mine
I'm
is
gonna
niching it.
come-
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Laura, you first.
Just niching it and being more structured in all the formulas and the ask. Like Pete said, we had a conversation earlier where I said it's like Pinterest. I'm just like on there for hours and just like nonsense, going down the rabbit hole. But now being more structured and more intentional in what the ask is, and yeah, a lot of ideas stemming around. So I'll definitely connect you with Cristina with some groups I'm involved with too.
Oh, thank you so much.
Beautiful, Laura. Thank you. Pete, how about you? You're jumping in?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Kathleen, the next Women's Coaching and Consulting Council session that I come to and join, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to say, hello, my name is Pete, and I've been a ChatGPT user for 3 months.
Excellent. Stake in the ground. How about it? Yeah. And for many of us, I want to do a shout out for Cristina. We'll continue on here. You were the one who led the way, Cristina. We had a conversation about this, and literally the following week, we had a program put together and delivered it. So we do not, in our council, our esteemed faculty members, we don't wait on things. We're not going out and, thinking about it. No, we get into action. That's our deal. So there we go, Cristina. A lot of courage to do this. Yeah. Trevor, please jump in.
So to go back to the beginning when I said, and I used the word cool, with all the noise that's around AI and ChatGPT and all the misinformation, what Cristina has done is brought this to us with clarity and with ease, made it easier for all of us. And that's pretty cool. So I'm going back to cool.
Thank you, Trevor.
Trevor, you're cool too. We're so glad you're here. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Great. Anyone else before we complete our time? Yeah. Biggest takeaway and next step. Okay, very good. Cristina, we'd like to have you close our program today. And thank you so much. What a great, great time. Really, really powerful. So thank you, Cristina, giving you the platform to finish up our program and take it home, as we say.
Of course. So one of the things that I've been realizing about artificial intelligence and the conversation around it that I think people are missing is its ability to enable us to ask questions and have more insights about what it means to be human. And so in the way that it's like, artificial intelligence or these tools sound human. So then what does it mean to be human, right? And so there's this whole conversation going on about more essential aspects of ourselves that are human and good. And what I love about these tools is it enables us to express ourselves and share our ideas and expand our minds and our understanding of things and the repertoire of our expertise, which only enables us to be more human with what we do. And so that's my final thought.
Thank you. Very nice. So delightful. I think we captured magic in a bottle today. So with that, lots of love to each of you. Come back. We'll see you on next Wednesday, and come join us in the council. We'd love to welcome you home. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Go forth and be more human, right?
Yes.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.